What's going on, guys? This is Eric here from Abiding Gaming, and this is the last week show where we just kind of talk about, what we've been up to for the past couple weeks, do some recaps. We've seen some movies, give our opinions of it. First and foremost, I'm surrounded by my good friend. We got Matt Campbell, Matty C.
What's up?
I just decided to do both this time.
Yeah.
I can't decide today for some reason, but we saw a little movie recently, and it sucked that we couldn't do a review right away, but we've seen Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Volume 2.
Right off the
Awesome
rip.
Mix 2.
What did you think of it?
I thought it was really good. I thought it was really, really good.
You scared me the way you were about to talk.
I thought it sucked. Here's why. No.
I was like, I thought you was like, it was really okay. And I was like, oh no, this is gonna be an interesting.
I had mixed feelings on it. I think the movie was amazing. I really enjoyed it. But there's things about the first one that was like better, and there's things in this movie that was better. I think all around, I think the first movie was a little bit better just because it was like this, like a fresh start kind of movie. It was like just Guardians 1 was awesome.
So we have different opinions on that then.
But Guardians 2 was really good because this movie developed upon each character.
And see, and that's why I feel like the second one is better, because you get, like typical comic book movies, the first one, origin story. You got you let them build to get into the group at the end to fight the bad guy. And then that's when the real Guardians of the Galaxy kind of come together. Second volume, that's when you don't have to worry about origin story anymore, and they can all just be them.
Right. Well,
and that's why
they kind of did origin stories.
They kind of, yeah, and that's the thing where I can understand it kind of being more development, because in the beginning it was kind of like, okay, we're talking about Drax, we're talking about this, but it was more them being themselves.
Right. And I give James Gunn a lot of credit, because with the Avengers, they all got their own movies.
Yeah.
Those were their stories. With Guardians, they're all
just there all the time, half the time.
So I give him credit for giving them their own stories in one movie.
Right.
It's not easy to do, and he did a very good job of that.
Because, I mean, that's the thing. Half the time in the second one, you had them all split up, doing different things. First and foremost, the opening. Okay, speaking of which, first part of our discussion is going to be spoiler-free, so there's not going to be any crazy spoiler topics or anything like that. This isn't really a spoiler, but I love the way it opens.
The opening was really good. Yeah.
And then you just... Drax being Drax. I'm just going to say that.
Yeah, right.
But overall, the pacing wasn't too bad, I thought.
No.
It was just, there was times where it was kind of like, okay, I mean, it's getting pretty serious for obvious reasons.
Yeah. I think so. One of my little complaints of the movie is the movie got a little bit too random at times. They scene jumped like a lot. It was so random. They would be like, okay, now we're here with them. All right, now we're here with Ravagers, and then okay, now we're back here. Okay, now we're back here. I'm like, what's happening?
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Yeah,
it wasn't like hard to keep up, but it was very random at times.
The way the story was going, there was too many different threads being pulled in different directions.
Right.
And yes, the way they scene jumped to each one was it felt random at times, because it was like something's interesting's happening over here, and then boom, cut to over here. Yeah. And it's like, I want to know what's happening over there. It's like, because there was times like, we're still not talking about spoilers, but like something interesting was about to be revealed, and then boom, we cut back to the Ravagers, and it's like, really? Come on, just finish the sentence.
Yeah. The comedy is still there.
Oh my gosh, the comedy is just Yeah, I felt like it was dialed up more in this one.
There were like 1 or 2 scenes with jokes that were just like, okay, we get it, move on. Towards the end of the movie, there's one that just I rolled my eyes at this, but we'll get to it. I was rolling I'm like, okay, we got it. Let's move the scene forward, please.
Oh my gosh! But overall, I thought the movie was good. I mean, if you were a fan of Guardians and you still haven't seen this, I highly recommend it.
Oh yeah, I would highly recommend going to see this movie.
The visual, I love the style of it.
The visuals were, oh man, they were awesome. Like the space battles were really good.
Yes, and then even the music again.
Music, fantastic.
Yes.
But gosh, by the end of the movie, I was in it. I was getting a little choked up at the very end of the movie. I was like, oh my god, because you care. That's
He
did a really good job of making you care for each character in this movie a lot. By the end of the movie, I was like, I'm so sad right now.
They really did. They put an emphasis on character development in this movie. Seriously. And that's the thing, I watched it with a group of friends, and at the end of the movie, the first one, she was just like, that movie was very mushy, wasn't it? I'm like, it was, but it was in a good way. Because it's they really they nailed making you care about the characters.
They put in emotional attachment. They had to explain.
They had to explain things.
They had to explain Peter Quill's childhood.
I feel like they explained it really well.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Super well actually. Because I'm they answered the questions that I had initially, and I was just like, okay.
Right. Yeah. They did answer some questions in this movie. As far as favorite characters go, Yondu. He was the best. He stole the show. Every scene he was in, he stole the show.
Yeah, Yondu was... I have to say between Yondu, but honestly, Drax is my man. Drax is freaking hilarious.
Drax was really funny in the first
Drax was off the hook in this one.
He was just oh my gosh. He did not stop in this movie.
Okay, so I want to get into spoiler stuff. So, this is where we're going to cut to get to the spoiler section. We recommend this movie. Make sure to watch it. Then come back to the spoiler section, discuss with us. But yes, this is where we're talking about spoilers now. Drax, talking about the antenna lady.
Mantis.
Mantis?
Yeah.
I forgot her name. It's just it's okay, you're ugly. It's just I was like, oh my gosh.
You are hideous.
You are hideous.
You are disgusting. I would never, ever be
with
someone
like thinking of that. Oh. And then even stuff from the trailers that we've seen, when she reads Peter Quill's mind, he's do me, and it's just but he was just priceless in this movie. My god,
her powers were a little different than mind reading.
I was gonna say, yeah.
She reads people's emotions and can change their emotions, but she doesn't really read their minds. She just knows how they feel.
Oh my gosh. He was really great in this movie.
You just need to find someone as pathetic as you.
In every scene he was in, it was just so freaking good.
Yep, thanks. Okay. Okay.
Him jumping out the back of the freaking spaceship, shooting all those people. And let's talk about the Golden People with their little arcade machine flying vehicles.
That was
really funny.
That was funny. I liked that, but that's one thing I wanted to talk about. I think they
emphasized that a lot, though.
Well, they did, but the gold people were almost unnecessary in this movie. They were just there. They weren't developed upon at all in this movie.
They were just the funny, oh gosh, these guys
okay,
again.
And that goes into the scene jumping again. Yep. They were just okay, back to the gold people. Where I'm
I don't care about the gold people.
Okay. One thing, if Rocket hadn't stolen those batteries at the beginning of the movie, the gold people wouldn't have anything to do with this movie.
No, Him stealing those batteries, just oh my gosh.
He is still stealing stuff in this movie. Okay, so Yondu, when they I'm actually I have to think because they scene jump so much. So when Rocket and Groot got taken by the Ravagers and they were up on their ship and they were in the prison cell with Yondu. Yondu was like, you know, kind of siding.
Well, because
them.
like Baby Groot was being initialized with the Ravagers at that time.
Right.
Oh
right.
my gosh.
So
I felt so bad for Baby Groot.
That was hilarious. They were trying to explain because they.
He's like a Finn.
Yeah, they cut off Yondu's like thing, his like mohawk thing.
So he couldn't do the little whistle.
Yeah,
thing
so he couldn't whistle. That's what.
To control the arrow or something. I don't.
It's what plugs it into his mind, I guess, so he can whistle it to it and control it. But that whole sequence on the Ravager ship is probably my favorite scene in the entire movie.
I was dying.
All of that was the best, and I loved it when they were trying to explain to Baby Groot, like, okay, it's in this drawer. It has this symbol.
He's like
on
just bringing back so many different things.
And then he brought back some dude's arm.
Yeah,
and he's like,
wait, tell me there's a drawer of just like arms.
Tell me the drawer of just arms. And then you know, Yondu's like, no, that's still, and Rocket's like, no, give me that. It's like, what? No, he's like,
I love how he's still trying to take stuff, like take arms and stuff.
He's like, it's someone's arm.
It's like he's gonna wake up and just like be like, where? No, it was the eyeball. Remember?
Oh yeah, it's his eyeball.
Yeah, it was his eyeball. The arm he didn't. The arm that he didn't want to. Yeah, he was like, where's my eye at? Well, like the arm one, I lost it because it was just like everybody in the theater was dead silent with the arm, and it was like, Yondu, is there a drawer or something just filled with like dead people's arms? And he goes, no. And everybody just loses it. Cause Groot's just sitting there just like how did he do that?
But I loved his new fin. The new fin
was really cool.
It was really cool.
Oh my gosh. And then just that scene of him just being a BA. And just like whistling and just that whole like the lighting and stuff, the music going, like, oh my gosh.
They really showed off why everybody was so scared of his arrow.
Yeah, they did.
That was insane. He killed everybody. Everybody. Except for Taserface. Oh wait, no, Taserface is dead. This ship exploded.
Oh my gosh, Taserface joke was...
he was talking to Aisha, was the gold lady's name.
And she even
started cracking up. Taserface!
I was going to say, and tell him that Taserface is the one that killed him, and then she loses it. It's like, Taserface?
That's your name? Taserface?
Oh, and like, he was just dying. Oh my gosh. He had me dying, though.
Yeah.
Rocket, that's the thing, I want to say Drax was my favorite, but between Rocket and Baby Groot, they stole the show half the time.
Yeah, them, just the whole team of Rocket and Groot and Yondu. That was just my favorite.
That was the favorite. Like that was the squad.
My favorite. Everything they did together, and then Yondu stole the show.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, unsurprisingly, I did not think that I would care that much about Yondu, because like at first I'm like, why are they showing Yondu? Okay, like he's just kind of like the joke of the movie, and like that's what I was initially thinking when he was like the winter place, he was getting the robot hooker and stuff like that, and then get signed up for the. I'm like, oh, okay, they're trying to make Yondu seem important, okay, and then like when you get to the ship and he gets like betrayed and stuff, I'm like, oh, okay, okay, I'm actually loving Yondu.
Yeah,
but man, dude, that ending.
So yeah, so, and then I haven't talked much about anybody else, but Peter Quill. Star-Lord.
Oh my gosh.
Kind of random how it happens, but they crash land their ship after they escape the gold people. And this ship comes down, and there's Ego. His name is Ego, is what you learn, but it's his father.
Yeah, because I loved how he was going the opposite direction at first. Because, like, when they were fighting and Drax was out the side, he saw the little tiny guy on the ship.
Yeah.
And it was just like, hey, this tiny guy on this ship saved us. And it was just like, and then he comes in, it's like, okay.
Yeah. So he's Ego. I'm your daddy. So, they go off to his planet. It all happens really fast.
I was gonna say, yeah.
They're kind of just like, all right, let's go. Let's explain these things.
And honestly, that's actually, that whole separation didn't sit well with me, because it's like, okay, so first off, why only Gamora?
Right.
Well, why Gamora? No, sorry. Why Gamora and Drax?
Yeah.
And then leave Rocket basically alone with Baby Groot.
Right.
That isn't really too much help.
They didn't really they didn't really explain anything like, yeah, we'll be back soon.
With what's her face?
Nebula.
To guard Nebula, like, by himself.
Like, Rocket's gonna be okay guarding Nebula.
By himself with Baby Groot, having to watch Baby Groot.
Right.
You should have just taken Baby Groot with you.
Right.
So it's like, that part, like, I kind of was like, really? Like, that's who you decide to be your guard team?
Right. So they didn't really say anything like, oh, we'll be back soon, fix the ship,
yeah,
and whatnot. Like,
and it's like, okay, so yeah, is he
weren't.
Fixing the ship? Like, what's he supposed to be doing, just staying there?
Right.
It's like, you're just basically guarding Nebula. Like, that's kind of weird. You would think that Drax would be the one to guard.
Right. Yeah.
So, like, that didn't sit well with... That was the only thing that really didn't sit well with me, because it's like, okay, they did that clearly for story purposes. Had them split up like that.
Mm-hmm.
Which it didn't make any sense, because in reality, that split up wouldn't have happened like that.
Yeah. So, they get captured by the Ravagers, and Nebula escapes.
Oh, but even before the capture, Rocket.
Yeah.
Rocket was
he was doing pretty well.
Rocket was doing amazing. I'm sitting there like, oh, this is so cool.
He's just sitting up in the tree, like, hitting the button to, like, make some fun.
I know, he should, but he's like cracking up. He's like, ah.
So, yeah, they get captured. Nebula escapes. And then she
basically joins the Ravengers for a little bit.
And then she's like, alright, just get me out of here. So she finds somehow.
They gave her a ship.
They gave her a ship, but I'm saying somehow.
They found.
They went to Ego's planet.
Ego planet, like
they went to Ego.
Like,
she just
they
found them.
I don't think they even said how. Like, just they had the coordinates randomly. That was the thing. Yeah, the Ravengers had the coordinates to Ego's planet for some reason, and knew it was Ego.
Right. Well,
how did they know it was Ego?
They knew he was Ego because he went to Yondu and the Ravagers in the first place to say, "Bring me my son."
But how did they know that that's where Peter and them went? Now thinking about that, I'm kind of like,
yeah.
That's a big plot hole that
they wouldn't have had any knowledge of Ego finding Peter.
And Rocket didn't talk.
No.
Unless Nebula just... Even Nebula wasn't even around when they were talking to Ego, though.
No, I mean, they had her tied up in the ship.
Yeah.
So
somehow they know it's Ego, and then they have the coordinates to Ego's planet, and then they go.
Yeah, so they're on the planet, and Nebula finds her, and they're fighting and whatnot. So with Gamora and Nebula, they explain a lot, which you really, really feel bad for both of them. How
and you start to really feel bad for Nebula. It's
she talks about how their father, Thanos, had them spar with each other to train them and in combat and whatnot. They just fought each other, and every time, Gamora was always better. Gamora was Thanos' favorite daughter. She was always better than Nebula, and every time Nebula lost, she had to replace one of her body parts with something mechanical and robotic. So she's almost like full. She doesn't even have her brain. She's a machine.
I was gonna say, yeah, she's basically full machine.
She's full machine. She's a robot. She is artificial intelligence.
But being alive and having all that done to you too, like
yeah. So Thanos like tortured both of them. So both of their goals is to like kill Thanos, but that's impossible. And Gamora even says like that can't happen. It's impossible. He's Thanos. And I don't think any of them, they don't have any knowledge of him. This will lead into Infinity War, but they have no idea that he's going to be stealing the Infinity Stones.
No.
They have no idea he has the Gauntlet, the Infinity Gauntlet, which they will probably get into that in Thor Ragnarok.
Dude.
Because that was the
Infinity War is gonna be crazy.
Crazy.
It's gonna be like how the Avengers happened.
Yeah.
Because you're bringing the Guardians of the Galaxy together
down to Earth. Down to Earth with the Avengers.
Like, it feels it's gonna feel like another, like the first Avengers happened, where you see all these people that weren't in movies together, boom, in a movie together.
I cannot wait to see the chemistry between the Guardians and any of the Avengers.
Right.
It's going to be hilarious.
Because they're going to do their own thing and be like, oh, well, we're the Guardians of the Galaxy. I can already see a rivalry that they're going to try to do. Be like, oh, you guys are called the Avengers? We're called Guardians of the Galaxy.
I can see Rocket getting into it with Tony Stark.
Yes.
Because of technology.
Because of, like, how they build stuff. Is like, I can build that better.
Yep. Oh, gosh, I can't wait to see the chemistry between them. But
oh, man.
That's going to be really good. I also have a theory that you're going to see maybe like a Guardian or at least Thanos in Thor Ragnarok, because they're going.
I was gonna say because you would have to. Yeah,
they're going the whole like galactic universe, Marvel.
I mean, they would have to show Thanos at least.
Yeah,
because isn't that the last one until Infinity War?
No, they're doing Thor. Well, they're doing Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Oh,
Thor.
That's true.
They're doing Black Panther.
Oh, really?
I mean, he's an Avenger now, so...
Oh, okay.
They are doing Black Panther before Infinity War.
I was like, really? Okay.
But then...
I really thought that it was just Thor, and then boom, we're going to have Infinity War. Okay.
No, but then I think that might be it. I don't know if they're doing 2 Marvel movies next year, but I think they're just doing Black Panther.
Okay.
And then Infinity War.
I don't really care about Black Panther.
No.
I feel like that's going to be the only one that I'm like, I've got to see it.
That's kind of like how I feel about Wonder Woman on the side of DC.
Oh my gosh.
The movie looks cool, but I'm like, it's like Black Panther. It's kind of one of those movies that they just have to do.
Care about Wonder Woman, really.
They just have to do it.
It just has to.
She's in the Justice League.
But then the fact that it's an origin story. Why? You guys have been doing so good. What? Okay. You guys haven't needed to do an origin story. There we go.
Yeah.
You started off with Batman versus Superman and already established these people in the movies.
Right.
Why do a Wonder Woman origin story that goes back to World War II to make it really seem like you're doing a Captain America ripoff?
Right. I mean, that is what she did, but it's DC. But yeah, I get it.
It's like I'm watching a lesser Captain America, and I don't like Captain America.
Yeah.
So that's why it's hard for me to really want to say that I'm going to watch it.
Right.
Because it's like, once it comes out, I'm going to see in the reviews if they're going to talk about maybe kind of doing like a Marvel thing at the end. If anything, I'll just watch the ending.
Right.
Because I really don't, I don't really care where Wonder Woman came from.
Right.
I just want Justice League.
Yeah.
And I want that to be good.
Right. So...
Because I've been watching Arrow.
Nice. How far are you?
I'm only on like episode 10 or 11, but I've been watching it.
1?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, once you get...
It's actually getting pretty good. I'm like, okay, I see this actually... I see why this is a thing.
Dude, once you get to season 2, you're going to be like... And then season 3 is just like... What?
So it's like I'm gonna watch that, and then I'm gonna move to Flash.
I still haven't seen any Flash. I need to watch Flash.
Because I want to know more about these characters that I don't really know.
Yeah.
Because it's like I've always been more Marvel, but then like I've only known really Batman from DC.
DC is hilarious because obviously Marvel owns the cinematic universe. DC, they got some work to do, but their TV shows and their animated movies are amazing.
And that's the sad part. Their TV shows and animated stuff are amazing, but they're not tied to their cinematic universe.
They're not tied to the cinematic universe.
When they first came out, they were saying how Arrow, Gotham, all this stuff was going to be tied to the movies. And then they just kind of said, oh yeah, no, it's its own thing.
No.
It's the TV universe now.
Yeah.
It's like, really?
T-verse.
It's the T-verse. It's like, okay.
Yeah. Like, did you... Obviously, you saw, like, Teen Titans. Not this Go crap, but, like, the original
Teen Titans, yeah.
When it was on, like, Toonami.
Yeah, that was good.
Young Justice, if you want to see, like, good Teen Titans again. Young Justice is basically all of them as, like, teenagers with more DC superheroes and villains as, like, teenagers.
That's cool.
Really good. It's really good.
But,
back to Guardians.
Okay.
Discuss the ending towards the end. So, come to find out, Ego is his father. So what happened is he went to Earth, he found his mom, fell in love with her.
Oh man.
And then that's how, you know, Peter Quill came to be. That's why he's half sentient. He's half God. Which Peter Quill still is half God, and
I was gonna say technically he still is.
He started training Peter Quill, and he was like, you know, hold out your hands, and he just started forming energy in his bare hands. So Peter Quill has superpowers.
Well, didn't they explain though now he doesn't because he destroyed the light?
Oh yes.
So he doesn't. He's not parts. He is part sentient, but he's not. He can't do the powers anymore because he doesn't have the
right. He doesn't have his powers anymore because, so they really started. There was a scene where Ego was like, "I'm going to explain to you now, basically my plan, what I've been doing for millions of years." Because Ego was essentially just energy, and then he basically was the most intelligent thing in the universe, and he developed upon himself. He was like, "Okay, I'm gonna become the form of a human," and blah blah blah, whatever. So what he's been doing is he didn't just get with Peter's mom.
He got with basically every species
in the universe to try and create the perfect spawn that was like half whatever species or race, half sentient. And
that stuff was messed up.
Peter was the perfect specimen. And Peter's like, what?
Yeah.
So you like it was crazy.
Yeah. I mean, when that happened, it was just like
he mated with like every species in the universe until Peter, and then he's like, "But I have you, Peter." And then, oh my gosh, like I was angry. I was as angry as Peter when he said it, but he was like, "I loved your mom, but it really pained me to put that brain in her."
Oh gosh, yeah. When he said that, I'm like,
and then Peter was just like, because Peter was like seeing the universe, and Peter was just, he snapped out. He was just
his eyes came back. He's like, "What did you say?
You killed my mother?" And then that was the turning point. He was like,
"Dude, I felt that when like he said that line. I'm like, oh no."
Oh, you what? So. Yeah, but what he essentially was doing is he was planting these like plants, these life forms on each planet he went to, and then when he became the planet, he released his energy in these plants, so he basically wanted the entire universe to become one with his mind. He wanted to become the universe.
See, yeah, that was a cool thing, because it starts off and it shows you that, and I'm like, when it first happened, I'm like, that's weird to show that right off the bat.
I know, right? It was like, hey, look at this alien plant. Cool.
I was gonna say, yeah. It's like, okay. I really think that they didn't need to like put that right in the beginning.
Right.
I felt like they used that to be like, okay, yeah, we can make this reference later. But it's just like, okay.
Right. So Ego's terrible. He was terrible. They fought, and that's why I loved Yondu so much, because Yondu really started to explain. He was like, I raised Peter from when he was a little kid.
It's like, and that's why he kept him. He kept him safe.
He's like,
because he knew what Ego was doing.
He's like, I didn't want to take him back to Ego. I knew his plans. Like, I kept him from Ego so he could be safe and whatnot. And he's like,
well, you threatened to eat me. He was like, well, we weren't gonna really eat you.
We weren't gonna eat you. We needed you to fit in small spaces that we couldn't to steal stuff.
I love that that line. It's like, because first, doesn't he like Peter say that to Ego, and then like later,
like, why did he even keep you? He's like, because I was small. I could fit in small spaces to steal stuff.
And then later at the ship they say it again. It was like, okay, that's funny.
So, they all join up on the planet. They're going to the center of the planet. They have to take his brain out, and they build a bomb. They're going to plant it on his brain. But as they're fighting, okay, let me get to that whole joke that just drug on. The whole thing with the duct tape. I was like, oh my gosh.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. So this is the thing about the duct tape. It was funny.
It was
for
funny.
a couple seconds.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, he's literally going to ask everybody.
He's going
to
but then
ask. It did redeem at the end with Drax. Yeah. Saying it is like, can Scotch tape be okay? Is Scotch tape okay? And then he asks and is like, yeah, Scotch tape is. What? Why did you ask in the first place if you didn't have it? And I'm like, okay, that made me laugh again, because like after that whole sequence, I'm sitting there going like, okay. Right. And then Drax came on, I was like, okay, it redeemed it.
I chuckled
at that one.
And then Groot runs off with
my gosh.
The bomb, like,
I love that. It's like, you press this button, and I am Groot. And it's like, no, this button. And then you did the same thing.
And then when they get to it, when he finds the brain and plants it, and you're just like, oh God.
He sits there, he's like,
oh God, is he gonna press
it? And we're like, oh no. And like, you see that thought too. He's just like,
he was thinking about it.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, he pressed the right button. He's growing up.
But man, baby Groot though. He like every time baby
cute.
He was too cute, and he stole the show like anytime he was on.
Oh yeah.
Like that opening.
Yeah.
With Baby Groot, which is priceless.
And then they're fighting. Gold people show up
to ruin the day.
So they finally they plant the bomb, blow it up. Unfortunately, Yondu doesn't make it out alive. And he says the words that just really, really got to me. He says, Ego may be your father, but I'm your daddy.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh.
The fact that he just sacrificed himself to like.
When Yondu died, that's what made me like really emotional.
Yeah.
Like, because it all happened.
I know, it happened really fast.
He was just like, I raised you. I'm your daddy. And he died. And I was like, no.
And it's like, oh, crap.
And then they had the funeral for him. That was really cool. How everybody showed up for his funeral. And I failed to mention probably one of the coolest cameo appearances from freaking Sylvester Stallone.
Right?
That was cool.
The fact that I actually read up after like everything happened, those were the original Guardians.
And they might be in the third movie.
Yeah.
Like, doing things...
Because I'm sitting there, I'm like... Because at first I'm like, okay, I'm missing something here. This is an important...
Honestly.
I'm like, this is an important, like, sequence that they're showing after the film. And I'm like, but I missed it. Did some research when I got home, and I'm like, oh!
Yeah.
Okay, that's actually cool.
It got a lot of people thinking that they were, like, original Guardians because that.
Well,
was
that's what I thought too. Cause I'm like,
that was, I guess,
like,
their original
were they?
catchphrase.
Yeah.
Like, let's go steal some shit.
Yeah, I'm like, huh. I'm like, that's weird. And then, what's his name having the Finn trying to practice doing that, and he shoots Drax.
He shot Drax.
And Drax just, ah! I was losing it. Because that was a good, like, couple minutes of him just screaming, going, ah!
Yeah.
Ah!
That was great. That was great.
Like, and then, let's talk about the the credits. Like, the credit roll
post-credit scene
was so cool.
Before I went into the movie, everybody said that there was 5 post-credit scenes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, okay, so they must be doing one for, like, each character or something. So, gosh,
And it was very, like, attention, like it wasn't like, oh, okay, come on, let's get to the next thing. And it's like, I like the music, the credit rolls were cool, looking for the Iron Roots and the credits were pretty fun.
I actually, when I was watching the credits, I noticed when they had the pictures, the picture frames of the people, the characters dancing.
Yeah.
On the right side, at one point, it was Jeff Goldblum from Thor
I saw
Ragnarok,
that.
and I'm like, that got me thinking that they're gonna tie in the movies.
I could see that
because it's galactic.
You would think, yeah, you're in a different
right. So, watch Thor fight Drax. Drax just showed up on their planet for the arena fighting. That would be amazing.
That would be
I'd be
funny.
so happy.
Yeah, he's like trying to make some money.
Yeah.
for the group, so he's gonna do the fighting.
The one with the scene with teenage Groot. Your room is a mess. Clean this up.
The fact that it's gonna be a teenage group now,
and he's like his room's a mess. He's sitting there playing video games. He sounded all. He had like he was obviously
it was like a very snarky like tone and stuff.
I'm Groot. Don't you talk back to me.
I still loved, like, speaking of Groot, though, the thing about him not moving in front of Drax in the opening when he was doing the dancing, and then Drax looked at him and he stopped dancing, and then Drax looked away, he starts dancing some more.
Yeah.
It's like, why is he scared of Drax? It was cracking me up because it's like, why is this a thing? But it's so funny that it's a thing.
That's just a thing now.
Because he's sitting there, he stops, and Drax is looking at him like, and he looks away. I was like, really? Because that happened at the end of the first Guardians movie.
So, let's get to the final post-credit scene with Stan Lee. Theories have almost all but been confirmed about all of
he's
Stan
basically
Lee's
he's the
cameo
Watcher.
appearances. The aliens that he was with, they're called the Watchers. They watch over the universe. They dictate how everything happens. They're basically
now that makes
like
sense.
all these superheroes and villains, like they're the gods of the superhero metaverse.
Mm-hmm.
And Stan Lee was up there with them, and now everybody's like, that's it. Stan Lee's a Watcher. So he's been on all these planets, and he's been with all these people.
And he's been in every movie.
Every movie. He's watching over them.
Mm-hmm.
He's watching over
I thought that was really cool. Like,
that was awesome.
That was a cool, being like, okay, so then, now they explained Stan Lee being in everything.
Right. He's a Watcher.
He's a Watcher.
Maybe in Infinity War. Oh my gosh. What if
what if he actually has a role in Infinity War?
He has a main role in it as a Watcher. That'd
be really cool.
Stay alive for a few more years, Stan Lee.
Seriously.
He's like 93 years old.
Like, it's kind of scaring me how old he's getting, and the fact that he's still being emphasized more and more in the Marvel movies.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, what are they going to start doing? Just CGing him in?
Right.
I wonder if he will actually allow that. I wonder if he's already talked to Marvel about that.
There's a chance. There's a chance.
I think that the fact that he's a Watcher now.
Yeah, he's getting up there in his years. He may have been like.
I think he probably
did. I need you guys to know that you can do this.
I mean, they really need to have that talk.
Like, you can have my likeness when I pass away.
Because I mean, we already lost somebody.
Yeah.
The fact that they finally did confirm that she's not going to be in the next episode.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yes,
exciting stuff happening in the Marvelverse.
I can't wait. I can't wait for Spider-Man.
I'm a little disappointed they didn't show Thanos in the movie, but I understand.
They gotta cool him off. I think they're gonna talk about him in Thor. Because I doubt they're gonna do if there is Black Panther before Infinity War. I doubt that he's gonna be in Black. I mean, like, why?
No,
why would he be in Black Panther?
I think they're gonna show him off in Thor because at the end of Age of Ultron, that post-credit scene, that's when he stole the Infinity Gauntlet, and that's in Valhalla. That's in Odin kept it in his like trophy room.
I'm excited for
room. So
I'm excited for Thor.
Thor looks fantastic. I love the whole style of it.
And that's the thing. I've never been like a Thor movie fan. Like let me say that the standalone.
Yeah, like
movies.
they haven't been fantastic. And what's her face? The one girl in those movies just annoys the crap out of me.
Natalie Portman?
No, not her. She's fine. The one who plays her sister.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
She annoys the crap out of me in both those movies. I'm just like, if she is in Thor,
I was gonna say I wouldn't think that she would be.
I don't think either one of them are. Gonna
I was gonna say I don't think they are.
Because he's on a different planet.
Yeah.
So.
I can't wait. Some more news before we close out here. Big news. Okay? You guys can't see it. The Boondock Saints are coming back. I wanted to talk about this to close out the show.
Yes.
Boondock Saints are coming back. Troy Duffy has finally confirmed both Boondock Saints 3 movie script is done, and then a TV show reboot is being done. A lot of people are confused about this. Okay, which doesn't make any sense because then people clearly haven't watched the videos of him talking about it and listened.
I didn't really watch him either, so.
Okay, so basically, he starts off. It was a couple weeks ago. He comes out, talks about there's some exciting things happening with the Boondocks and stuff like that.
See that.
And then he talks about he's like both scripts are done. We're gonna be doing Boondocks 3 and then a TV original like a reboot.
Yeah.
And then at the end, you see him throw both scripts of Boondocks 3, Legion, and then the TV show Origins, which is a reboot.
Yeah.
A lot of people are hung up about that, thinking that he's not doing the third movie and he's just doing the TV show, and it's a complete reboot, so it's going to be like new people.
Right.
Guys, Boondocks 3 is freaking happening, okay? Watch the video. Pay attention. I know it's hard sometimes, but pay attention. Because he says Boondocks 3 is a real thing. So that means the original Saints, the brothers, are back for 3. At least for 3. But then the TV show actually sounds pretty freaking cool. Now, what they said with the TV show is it's a complete reboot for a new generation to kind of like explain a little bit more about the Boondocks, like about the brothers, really.
Right.
So it's kind of like, okay, so you've watched the original movies, right? Yeah. Okay, so like how when it first starts off, and then they get the idea to like start killing people and stuff like that, and they go and this explains them coming from Ireland, trying to like do the American dream, and then they basically turn how they turn into Boondocks, the first one.
Yeah.
And what's cool is from what they're saying is they're going to have situations that have happened in the movies into the TV show, but slightly different because it's going to be a reboot retelling. So for the people that are fans like me and you, we watch a TV show, and then something may happen to where... Remember the scene where Connor jumps off the... Was it Connor? Yeah, it was Connor. No. Crap. Nope, it was Murphy. When he jumps off the fire escape with the toilet, smashes it.
Yeah.
So apparently there's going to be situations like that. Say, okay, it's going to be redone a little bit to make more sense for the TV show reboot. So you may see a scene like that and be like, oh, hey, it's a nod, a wink to the movies.
Yeah.
Him doing that scene.
Sure.
It's like famous scenes that were from the movie are going to be in the TV show, but then it's going to be more fleshed out. So I'm like, okay, I understand that, but they just need to get a good set of brothers.
Yeah.
They need to have a good Connor and Murphy. Because if they don't, the TV show's kind of, you know.
Conor McGregor, he's already Irish.
Oh my, no.
No.
God, no. I hate that guy.
No, he's such a douche.
But, yeah, the fact that they're coming back, now it's just a matter of when the hell is Boondock Saints 3 coming out?
Yeah. Yeah. Couple years at least.
Gosh, I can't wait. The way they ended too was just wrong that we have to wait this long.
Yeah.
But yes, I wanted to clear the air of that because it's been bugging me seeing it on Facebook. The fact that nobody listens to what Troy Duffy has to say, and the fact that he did confirm there's a third movie, not just the TV show. Everybody's like, "Oh gosh, like come on, why can't we get the third movie? The third movie's happening,
right?"
Too. I like that aspect of it. He's giving us the third movie that we wanted, and then he's bringing Boondocks to everybody and making it a weekly thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be down for a weekly episode of Boondocks every week.
Yeah, for sure.
Man, but what do you guys think of that, and also Guardians?
Yeah.
Leave it in the comments below. That's been it for the last week's show. I'll cut it. I'll just wait again because I just talked over it again. Well, that's been it for the last week's show. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe below. What did you guys think of Guardians, or what do you guys have to say about the Boondock Saints? Leave it in the comments below. And as always, until next time, have a great one.
Peace.
End this one, because that way it can be a separate video, and then I can upload it real quick.